Welcome to Bless Dem Boyz, a podcast that is definitely not throwing rocks at their offensive coordinator's house. We're one Saints fan and one Cowboys fan, one fan of Who Dat and one fan of Dat Win. We're here to give weekly takes, game recaps, bad betting picks, game previews, and the occasional Seinfeld reference.
Our patron Saint/Cowboy of the week this week is defensive back Eric Frampton. Frampton attended Oak Grove High School in San Jose, California, where he was an all-league selection as a junior after rushing for 17 touchdowns. Though next year as a senior, he did miss 5.
Baby, I love your way.
There you go. Yeah. As a senior, he did miss 5 games with a broken collarbone. That's got to hurt. And had 30 tackles in the remaining 6 contests. He would attend Washington State University on a football scholarship. And as a redshirt freshman, he played mostly on special teams, registering 8 defensive tackles in 12 games. As a sophomore, he appeared in 11 games, making 24 tackles and 3 pass breakups, and he received the Washington State Ironman Award. As a junior, he became the starter at safety, registering 87 tackles, which led the team, 1 sack, 5.5 tackles for loss, a quarterback pressure, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, 8 pass deflections, and returned 1 interception for a 36-yard touchdown. He also had 13 tackles against both USC and Arizona State. As a senior, he again was the Cougars' leading tackler, this time with 100, played both free and strong safety, tallied 4 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 13 pass breakups, which led the team, 2 forced fumbles, 5 interceptions, which led the team, and 1 returned for a touchdown. He made 11 tackles against USC, 16 against the University of Oregon. He would finish his college career with 23 starts, 219 tackles, 9.5 for a loss, 6 interceptions, 2 sacks, 2 quarterback pressures, and 2 touchdowns. 2007 draft, he is selected 5th round, 165th pick overall by the then Oakland Raiders. However, he would be waived before the season started on September 1st. The following day, the Detroit Lions claim him off of waivers. He plays in 5 games, has 7 special teams tackles, gets released on October 21st. The following day, the Minnesota Vikings claim him off waivers. He becomes a special team standout with 14 tackles, which is 4th on the team. In 2008, he's 2nd on the team with 21 special teams tackles. 2009, 4th on the team with 18 special teams tackles. And in 2010, he's 3rd on the team with 10 special teams tackles. 2011, he is voted the Vikings special teams MVP by his teammates after leading the team with a career-best 22 tackles. However, on August 31st, 2012, he is released before the season starts. September 25th of 2012, he is signed by your Dallas Cowboys to add depth to a defense depleted by injuries. He only plays in 13, although he played in only 13 games, he did lead the team in special teams tackles, was used in the team's defensive sub packages before being named the starter at strong safety the last 2 games of the season. Finished the year with a career-high 21 tackles, 3 pass breakups, and 2 starts on defense. Also had 25 special teams tackles, which led the team, 2 passes defended, and a fumble recovery. He was re-signed June 4th, 2013. He would injure his groin during training camp, was placed on IR September 3rd, was released with an injury settlement September 9th. December 17th, 2013, he is signed... that's weird. He is signed by the Saints, reuniting with Rob Ryan, who was his defensive coordinator with the Cowboys. Saints assigned him uniform number 37, previously worn by Saints special teams star Steve Gleason, who also attended Washington State. However, on January 1st of 2014, he was released to make room for linebacker Kyle Knox, and that would end his professional career. So to Eric Frampton, we salute you, sir. I'm Paul the Saints fan.
I'm Brandon the Cowboys fan.
We're your hosts. Izzy, let's tell them what time it is. All right. It is go time. A few housekeeping items before we get to the football and all the other good talk this week. If you want to contact the show, you can do so via email, blessdemboys@gmail.com, BLESSDEMBOYZ. Still on X. at bless_dem_boys. I'm at Paul Elliott _316. Brandon is at Ball from Grace. We're still on Blue Sky, in spirit, I would say.
In spirit.
If you're checking us out right now on YouTube, thank you. Go ahead and hit that like button, the subscribe button while you're here. If you want to check us out, if you can't check us out on YouTube, you can also check us out on Spotify and Apple. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a rating and review. Appreciate all the feedback, good, bad, or indifferent. And
we did. I will point out we did get a comment this week. I posted the clip of us picking the Bears game, and you said you picked. I think I picked the Bears with the points. So I did. I think I actually took them to upset.
You did, yeah.
But you mentioned how you don't want me picking your team. Basically, was how you phrased it. And
right.
So the comment was that, hey, thanks for not picking the Bears. And so
there you go.
So the Bear, we're starting to win them back over. It feels like they're coming back.
Spoiler alert! I'm not picking them this week either. But we'll get to that in a little bit. So yeah, appreciate all the feedback. Tell the friends, tell your enemies, tell the bots.
Tell the Bears fans.
Tell the Bears fans. Yeah. Shout out to our buddy Andy. So we'll get to the football again in a second. Before we do that, we here at Bless Dem Boys do like to discuss other things. All right, Brandon. So yeah, it was Thanksgiving this past week. I'm going to let you tell us what you've been up to this week. I have to go check on something real quick, but I'll be right back.
All right, so we had our Thanksgiving this year. We had my parents come in and come over. My wife's parents also came over. So we cooked. We had the turkey. We used the method that I've been that I got off of YouTube a few years ago that we cooked the past couple of years, and it's always turned out well. Turned out good again this year. We also didn't have any pans break in the oven this year, which is a big plus. So turkey turned out good. For sides, we had mashed potatoes, we had cream corn, stuffing, and mac and cheese. I think my kids might be the only preteens or small children that don't like mac and cheese right now. I'm like the only person eating the mac and cheese in the house right now, because we have a lot left over. And then for dessert, we had my wife made lemon tart and I made olive oil cake. And then we had someone stop by and dropped off some pecan pie and apple pie. So we ate pretty well. As far as what I watched, I did finish off season 1 of Better Off Ted, which was good. Even my wife liked it too. She said it reminded her of Arrested Development, which makes I don't know if it's all because of Portia de Rossi is in there. But I can see some similarities between that. But it was good. Would recommend if you can figure out a way to watch. It's one of those like kind of mid 2000s shows where it's kind of hard to find on streaming and stuff. And then let me give you an update on my college basketball picks. I was not as hot this week.
You need to have the Newman clip queued up for this.
I've actually I got it right here.
There you go.
So I didn't have as good a week this week as I did last week, but I was still in the money. I think so like I was like 13-12, 14-12, 8-7, 8-7, 11-6, 9-6. So for the year, I'm currently 121-82. So I'm winning at like I think 60% of my bet so far. Still in the black for now. Hopefully hopefully we stay that way. Just keep rolling forward. And then this week we also had a couple of movie nights with the kids. So on Friday. So Friday every year after Thanksgiving, we get the tree out and decorate the tree. So we did that, put on Sunny 99.1, which is now in full Christmas music mode. So we did that. And then Friday night, my oldest asked if we could watch Elf. And so we watched Elf, and she, at Half Price Books, like last year, I think she got an Elf cookbook. And so it has like a bunch of like recipes that are like, I mean, obviously it has some stuff that is like directly from the movie, but it also has some stuff that's just like named after the movie and different scenes in it. And so she got this cookbook, and what at one point, I guess she just like went through the cookbook and read the entire thing, because as we were watching the movie, she gets the cookbook out and she's like, oh, that's this recipe. Boom, 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 boom. And she'll flip to the page and she's like, oh, that's this recipe. And so she like goes and finds every single recipe in the cookbook as we're watching the movie.
Wow.
And so at some point I feel like we're going to have to like watch the movie and make something of these recipes. Maybe my wife and I we'll make the cocktail part of this.
There you go.
Because there are some alcoholic beverages in there. And then the next night since my oldest got to choose the movie that night on Saturday, we let her pick a movie and we watched Coraline. Very Christmassy.
Okay.
Have you seen Coraline?
I have not. I've heard of it. I have not seen it.
It's kind of it's a little creepy. It's kind of Tim Burton-esque, I would say.
Is it stop animation? Is it?
Yeah, it is stop motion.
Stop motion,
it's kind of Nightmare Before Christmassy, but it's not. So it looks Tim Burton-ish, but it's not Tim Burton. And then the other thing was we watched. So on Saturday or Friday night, we also watched the UT game, which I'm sure we'll get into with the college football.
Of course.
And then the other thing was we watched some Animaniacs, which I've introduced my children to. That show is still great. It's a hilarious show. And so we're watching, they did a reboot of the show, but we're doing the original show, which I have all 3 seasons on DVD.
Okay, I was going to ask how you're watching it.
Yeah, so I have all 3 box sets of the DVDs, and so we've been streaming, we've been popping those in and watching them. So been a pretty busy week, but good, and got some time away from work to just kind of hang out and relax. What about you, Paul? What did you get up to? How was your Thanksgiving, and what did you get up to this week?
Yeah, so Thanksgiving was good. Cooked a turkey in my Big Easy air fryer, as I have for the last couple of years. Nice little 24-pounder. And we did have a ham, as I mentioned last week. We did have a ham from Honey Baked Hams. We also had some sides, green bean casserole, some Tuscan broccoli, I think they call it. It's basically broccoli with like Parmesan cheese. And
if you put Parmesan on anything, that makes it Tuscan, right? That's how you make
Toscana. And then for the first time, I actually made stuffing, like from the packet, from the not from scratch. It was like a packet from the box, yeah. But yeah, we had never. Usually, we would get that from Honey Baked Ham too. But then my mother-in-law had bought too much for them, so she just gave us a package. Wife made mashed potatoes. My wife did. I think we did this last year too. But my wife ordered a cookie cake from Great American Cookie Company for dessert, which is like turkey with. Yeah, it was delicious. And then she had a pecan pie. Or she had gotten a pecan pie too.
I will say the Great American Cookie Cake, like I've never had a Great American Cookie Cake that's like it always tastes the same. Like there's no very like that is the most consistent. You know what you're going to get week in, week out. It's not up and down. It's not high low. It's a consistent performer. You got this guy on your bench. He can come off the bench and give you about 10 minutes, 10 to 12 points every night.
You're getting very like Romo on this. Like,
yeah, Jim.
I'll tell you, Jim.
I got to tell you. this cookie cake, you know what he's going to give you. He's coming out here. He's running a slant. You know he's going to catch the ball. He's going to get you a couple of yards, put you, keep you from getting behind the sticks. That's the kind of guy I like, Jim. Just a consistent performer. Yep. I make good comments. Yep.
So then Thanksgiving morning, my wife and I finished up watching the new season of Stranger Things.
Okay. Is this the last? Is this the last one, or did they have the part 2 coming out? Or
this is season 5. This is the last season. They dropped 4 episodes Thanksgiving Eve. They will drop another 3 episodes on Christmas, and then the finale will drop on New Year's Eve. I think they're also doing the finale in select movie theaters, but it will drop on Netflix on New Year's Eve.
Gotcha.
But yeah, these 4 episodes, but like every episode's like at least an hour and a half. Like it's kind of
a movie.
Yeah,
that seems like a bit much.
My wife and I started Wednesday night. We got through the first 2. Well, I got through the first episode fine, and then I dozed off halfway through episode 2. When I woke up, episode 3 was like halfway over, so I finished episode 3. So then when I woke up the next morning, while my wife was sleeping, I went back and finished episode 2. I like filled in the gap basically.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
That when she could, so that when she woke up, we could, because she had dozed off. She had missed the beginning of episode 3. So when she woke up, we basically watched episodes 3 and 4 Wednesday morning before the kiddos got up and wanted to watch the parade, the Macy's parade.
Yeah.
And
we did watch the parade. We did watch the parade as well.
Yeah, we watched the parade, and then we also watched the dog show, hosted by Seinfeld alum John O'Hurley, Jay Peterman.
Oh.
Yeah.
I learned something about the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is that used to what they would at the end of the parade, they would just release the floats and just let them drift off into wherever. And then if you found one of them and you brought it back to Macy's, they'd give you $100.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. So that's what I learned this year about the Macy's thing.
Do you think Mr. Pitt just kept the Woody Woodpecker balloon after he was?
Yeah, of course. He's an instigator.
He finds his laugh intoxicating. Yeah, so that was and it was just really us. Like my in-laws didn't come over, and then my wife, my youngest daughter, is really into Christmas. Like she's really into decorating. So she and my wife got the tree and everything up basically Thanksgiving afternoon. Like got that done. So that was fun. Fun for them. I just moved boxes when asked. I'm not like a Scrooge. Like I enjoy Christmas. I like this time of year, but I'm not going to be the guy. I'm not the Clark Griswold. I'm not going to go all out and, do all that stuff.
So what it's the last couple of years, like we basically have just like, usually it was like me and my wife and the kids like all decorating, but the last couple of years they get really excited about it. So we just hand them the ornaments and let them go. Yeah. And so right now we haven't rearranged it yet, but our tree is very like, there's a very line of demarcation where you stop seeing ornaments above this line. There's no ornaments at that after that point
where your kids can't reach, basically.
Exactly. It's the unexplored portion of the, like when you would see the old maps of the United States, it's like uncharted territory.
Yeah.
Basically.
I did get another movie knocked out on my Criterion Challenge. This was an Australian film called Picnic at Hanging Rock. It's a story about these girls at a boarding school or reformatory school. They go out for a picnic at the Hanging Rock, which is like this national. I don't even know if it's a national park. It's just, but some of the girls wander off while everybody they're all there. It's kind of like almost like a field trip, and everybody's there, and then these girls kind of wander off, and they're never seen again. So like, the movie is them. They're trying to find out what happened to these girls, and so it's good. I mean, it's a little art housey, but it's directed by this. It's directed by Peter Weir, who directed Dead Poets Society.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. And Truman Show. Truman Show's probably his.
Oh, okay. I think we've talked about him because I feel like Dead Poets Society has come up before on the show.
Yeah, I watched it a couple weeks ago. I also watched Truman Show not that long ago. Let me make sure that he did direct Dead Poets Society. It's like I'm pretty sure he did. He also directed
false information over here.
I haven't seen this movie, but he also directed a movie called Master and Commander with Russell Crowe. It's like a Tale of the High Seas.
I do remember that. I think there was some reaction gift that came out of that movie where he's staring out the window.
That could be true.
Does sound familiar?
That does sound familiar. This was kind of serendipitous. I didn't plan it this way, but I was watching over the weekend. I watched 3 movies by the director Ridley Scott. So this is the director of Alien and Blade Runner. It's probably what he's best known for. But I watched House of Gucci, this is the movie that starred Lady Gaga and Adam Driver and Al Pacino. And it's basically the story of Gucci, of the designer, and like that family. And Gaga plays the woman who marries into the family. Adam Driver plays this Gucci, whose dad and brother founded the Gucci enterprise and all that stuff. And it's a good movie. Like I think my Letterboxd review was like, this is my kind of crazy. Like, cause everybody's just kind of going along for the ride in the movie. Like they're all kind of in on the joke a little bit. Like they're all just overacting and everybody just kind of goes along with it.
Everybody's hamming it up.
Hamming it up. Yep. And then I watched Kingdom of Heaven, the director's cut. So I'd never seen this movie. I've heard tale of it for a long time, and I'd always heard watch the director's cut, don't watch the original cut. So I just went ahead and watched the director's cut. This is the story of Orlando Bloom plays, I can't remember his character's name, but basically he loses his wife early in the movie, or actually before the movie even begins. He's lost his wife, and Liam Neeson comes along, and Liam Neeson comes from Jerusalem, and where he's kind of been it's in that time where like Jerusalem is occupied by Christians and Muslims, and they're it's that it's like
is it like during the Crusades?
Crusades, yeah. It's
okay.
That, yeah. It's that, yeah. So if you're a I'm not going to
history buff.
If you're a history buff, it's very good. Like it's long. It's the director's cut. It's over 3 hours long, but so buckle up. But it does move at a pretty good pace, I would say.
The directors do like to make their move. The director's cut is never shorter.
No, especially
no director's going in. No. No director's going in there and saying, "Hey, they made me make this movie longer."
That's the thing with Ridley Scott is he like almost every movie he does has at least one director's cut. Like Blade Runner has like 3 different cuts. It's just part of what he does.
There was an alien reference in one of the episodes of Animaniacs that we had.
Oh.
The what's her name? Jillian, or no? Well, who's the main actress in Alien? Whose name escapes me right now?
Oh, no, I can't remember. The woman who plays Ripley. The woman who plays Ripley.
Yeah.
It's not Sigourney Weaver. No, it's Sigourney Weaver.
No, it is Sigourney Weaver. Yeah. Okay, I couldn't think of her name. I was like, it's not Jillian. Jillian's not. It was her, and then and then the alien was in there, obviously.
So it's funny you should mention that. So in the new season of Stranger Things, there's a guest appearance by Linda Hamilton, who is Sarah Connor from the Terminator movies. And when she first showed up, I was like, "Oh, is that Sigourney Weaver?" I'm like, wait, no, that's not Sigourney. Like, I got her. I got them confused.
You got my rods and cones are all mixed up.
And the other movie, Ridley Scott movie I watched over the weekend was Matchstick Men. This is it's a con man movie. It's Nicolas Cage and Sam Rockwell are two con men who are planning basically the con of a lifetime kind of thing, like a con that can make them some big money. And right around this time, Nicolas Cage's estranged daughter shows up in his life, like just kind of out of the blue. So he has to kind of deal with that. And Nicolas Cage plays a very neurotic, OCD, like. So
he's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. There is one scene though where he has very much Cosmo Kramer energy. Like it's like he's like really like it's really good. Yeah, it's a really
he's a
good
hipster doofus.
Really good. Yeah. So I watched those three movies, not realizing that this past Sunday, November 30th, was Ridley Scott's birthday. Sir Ridley Scott, I should say, because he is knighted. So, all due respect. Yeah, so it was his birthday. I didn't even realize it until found out later. So happy birthday to him. And then I got 3 Seinfeld-related movies that I watched. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, because that's like the ultimate Thanksgiving movie. If you haven't seen it. The
You're
scene
effed.
that got
that's my favorite.
So there are quite a few Seinfeld alums in that movie. Like when they're on the airplane, the old man sitting next to Steve Martin is the old man from the Old Man episode of Seinfeld, Bill Irwin.
The mustache
yeah.
one with the with the record collection.
Yes. Yep. With the one that as his teeth fall in the garbage disposal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that. There's at one point they get a cab, and the guy driving the cab, and they end up going to that like kind of seedy motel, like because it's the only motel that they can get a reservation at, because John Candy knows the owner or whatever. The guy driving the cab was the actor who ended up playing Kramer in the pilot episode in season 4, the one that stole the raisins.
Oh yeah. Who was You say it's not they fooled me, Jerry. It's they fooled me, Jerry.
Right.
I'm going to say it how I want to say.
So there's that guy, and then this one I didn't realize until I saw it. I saw this on Instagram. So the famous scene in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is Steve Martin cussing the lady out at the rental car place, right? That lady is in Seinfeld, or her voice is in Seinfeld. She, in the Old Man episode, if you remember, Elaine's buddy or whatever the lady with the goiter, her voice is that lady from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles that Steve Martin cusses out at the rental.
Really?
At the rental. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, she almost has a second head.
Right. The one that talks about hooking up with Gandhi, with Mahatma.
Yeah. I used to dip his bald head in oil and rub it all over my body.
And then a very obvious Seinfeld connection is JFK. So the anniversary just passed.
To the right.
To the left. Back and to the left.
Back and to the left, sorry.
So the anniversary just passed. November 22nd is the day JFK was assassinated. It was free on YouTube. I don't know if it is there, if it is anymore. I don't think it is, but it was
one day only.
No, it was like the whole month of November, but I don't think it's there anymore. I can't explain this to you, Brandon, but like I love this movie. I don't know why I love the movie. I don't really get into all of the. I mean, you kind of get into the conspiracy stuff because that's what the movie's about. But like, it's just a murderer's row of actors. Kevin Costner is a movie star in this movie. Like, he is the epitome of a movie star. John Candy, who's obviously in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, has like one of the best 10-minute scenes you'll ever see in JFK. Like, he just turns it up to 100. It's fantastic. So if you haven't seen it, again, a long movie. It is 3 hours or so. So just
is that the director's cut or just the regular cut?
I think that's the regular cut, actually, because I want to say I owned the director's cut once upon a time. I don't think I do anymore, but and then last but not least, I will remind you of, speaking of Thanksgiving, I will remind you of the Mom and Pop Store episode of Seinfeld, in which George purchases a car he believes to have been previously owned by John Voight. And at one point in the episode, he's telling this to Elaine and Jerry, and Elaine's like, I've never seen John Voight drive a car. He doesn't drive in any of his movies. Deliverance, Canoe, Midnight Cowboy, Boots, Runaway Train. So I watched the movie Runaway Train. I had never seen it before. It just so happened to be available on like Tubi or something. And I was like, oh, let me pop this on.
There you go.
But there's two other Seinfeld connections in this movie. One is the lead female character is played by Rebecca De Mornay. So if you remember
Rebecca De Mornay,
that's right.
I do remember that.
The secondary male lead is played by Eric Roberts. This is a little more of a deep cut, but in the comeback episode when Kramer watches The Other Side of Darkness and the lady goes into the coma and he gets nervous or whatever.
I didn't know it was possible to come out of a coma.
Right. But he says that, and then George is like, oh, man, I wanted to see that. And so George goes off, I think, into the restroom, and you hear George from outside the restroom goes, how was Eric Roberts as the husband? And Kramer says, unforgettable or whatever. So Eric Roberts is in Runaway Train with John Voight and Rebecca De Mornay.
Was he unforgettable?
I mean, he was good. He was pretty good.
So not forgettable.
Yeah, he wasn't forgettable. I wouldn't say he was forgettable. Oh, there was one more Seinfeld connection in Runaway Train. So in the movie, John Voight and Eric Roberts are these two escaped convicts who just so happen to get on a train that is a runaway train. Like, it's like the conductor has had an unfortunate accident, and the train is out of control.
Never going back. Runaway train, right. Heading off the track.
So one of the workers at the train station or at the central office who's trying to get this train stopped. The actor who plays this guy is Bizarro George from the Bizarro Jerry episode. So if you remember
Bizarro George's name again? I'm trying to think.
Oh, can't remember. But you know who I'm talking about. The guy.
Yeah, I do.
So that guy, the actor who plays Bizarro George, is also in Runaway Train. So yeah. So anyway,
sorry, I'm looking up this Kevin Gene. Oh, it's Gene.
Gene, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Kevin, Gene, and Feldman.
Right. And then
It's Feldman.
And then Farkas or Vargas is the Newman, is Bizarro Newman.
Sid Farkas or something. No, Sid Farkas is right. Yeah, Vargas. It is Vargas. Yeah, the Bizarro Newman. Yeah, it doesn't say here what he does. This is also the one with the man hands.
Yep, absolutely. All right, buddy. So that's my. I think we squeezed all the Seinfeld connections we can out of Runaway Train. But anything else before we get into?
She's like something out of Greek mythology. There was one day. So in high school, one of my friends, the guy who's like the valedictorian, he was also like a big Seinfeld fan. Like because it would come on at night at like 10 o'clock or 10:30 or something on like the local channel because it was in syndication. And so we would always quote the show during like whatever classes we had together. And then one day, like freshman year of college, I was riding like one of the like school, like the buses that went around campus to class. And I looked over and there's a woman sitting there and she had very large hands. And I like text my friend. I was like, dude, I just saw a woman with man hands. And he takes back, he's like, it was like something out of Greek mythology. So there's that.
Man.
Classic.
All right,
classic
buddy.
Episode.
You want to get to, I know you want to get to college football so you can talk about your Longhorns.
Yes. The
floor is yours, sir.
the Aggies who they ain't played nobody, A&M Aggies, who barely needed a missed holding call and a miracle to beat Notre Dame, and who played the bottom dwellers of the SEC this year, who played nobody difficult and were therefore undefeated, had to play a real team this week, and they lost. And so I know they're still gloating that they got into the they're getting into the college football playoff just because of their soft schedule. So congratulations on that, you bunch of losers. What I don't understand is why does Oklahoma get to go? Why does Oklahoma in there? Like, we beat Oklahoma like convincingly. Like, what has Oklahoma done that's what I don't understand. Is like we beat two teams in the playoff. I know about the Florida loss, but like the Florida loss is the only thing.
A&M and Oklahoma did both beat LSU, which caused LSU to fire their coach and now turn the entire college football landscape upside down by
LSU isn't any good. Congrats. Like I said,
fair.
They didn't pay anybody good.
It's fair.
Remember the first week of the season, LSU went and beat Clemson, and we're like, look out. LSU might have it this year, and then it's
they had it.
Neither of these teams is good. Both of these teams stink.
Turns out they had it with Brian Kelly, and they just let him have it.
Boy, that hire like never felt like it was going to go well. Yeah, So it was great. We had a good time, just like enjoying, and my favorite part of this was like the A&M players who was asked about the stomping on the logo at midfield, and A&M players said, "Cowards do it, cowards do," and then they wouldn't shake hands after the game. So cowards do it, cowards do, Paul. That's how it goes.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, buddy. Do you have any thoughts on this whole Lane Kiffin LSU situation?
I don't know. I feel like he seemed like he was genuinely happy there. And I know at LSU, the resources are going to be better. You're going to have probably like slightly better recruiting grounds because like Louisiana, and then you're also next to Texas, which has like the east part of Texas, which also is pretty talent rich. And so I think LSU, that aspect of it. The only problem is what he's done at Ole Miss. Like, the bar is pretty low there. Like
Yeah.
the pressure to win isn't what it's going to be at LSU. But I was listening to an interview, and I want to say it was with Pat Forty of Yahoo Sports, or he was on the Tony Kornheiser show, and talked about how the one person that Lane Kiffin respected a lot was Nick Saban, and it just seemed like he probably talked to Saban about this before he went, and Saban kind of told him what it was like, and I think that probably played a very large part in him making the decision to go. I don't like the fact that like he's gotten this Ole Miss team into the playoff and he's not going to get a chance to coach them. And I think that, and I don't say that as a knock on him. I think that's more of a knock on the hiring process. Like I think, and I think this about the NFL as well, is like we need to just like, there needs to be a moratorium on the hiring until like the season is actually over, because like you get into these situations, and the Cowboys had this with Dan Quinn, because it seemed like when they were getting ready to play the Packers that year in the playoffs, he had his foot halfway out the door to Washington. And like it just sets you up for failure if you've got guys who are not focused on the task at hand. And I do not like that. And I don't like that in any sport. I think there's got to be a better way to do this. What are your thoughts? You're a native Louisiana, and so this is your backyard.
I am. I was born and raised in Louisiana. I did grow up an LSU fan. I would not consider myself an LSU fan as of today. I did work for LSU once upon a time. My paycheck did come from Baton Rouge. So, but yeah, I just think going back to the Saban point for a second. Apparently, Saban's the one who was like telling the LSU brass, like you need to go get Lane Kiffin. Like that's the guy you need to go after. So that there's that. Yeah, I can understand why Ole Miss would be like, yeah, Lane, we appreciate what you've done, but we also don't want you coaching these kids an extra month and then also possibly recruiting them to go with you
exactly
to LSU. If it was a non-SEC school, like if he goes to like Notre Dame or like, Ohio State or something like that, then maybe. But
it's not even just another SEC school. This is like Ole Miss hates LSU. It's the worst possible team to go to.
But what I'll say, you were talking about the expectations thing. He's got to win a national champion. He's got to win at least one national championship at LSU.
You can't match what Ed Orgeron did.
Well, I mean, think about it. So, like, Saban won a title there. Les Miles won a title there. Ed Orgeron, who you just mentioned. And then Brian Kelly came up empty. So, I mean, I think I have a feeling it'll be successful. LSU does travel to Oxford next year, so that'll be interesting. I'm interested to see. I know the defensive coordinator at LSU interviewed and apparently did very well for the Tulane job, because Tulane's coach left to go to University of Florida.
Right.
John Summerall.
Summerall, not Summerall.
Yeah, yes. But he will be allowed to coach Tulane this weekend in their championship game, and if Tulane makes the playoff, and so forth. So, I mean, listen, I don't begrudge Ole Miss the decision they made. I kind of felt bad for Marty Smith being held hostage in Oxford, because like, it's like I tweeted out at one point, I was like, is ESPN just like messing with Marty? Are they telling Ole Miss to just keep delaying so he has to stay there? Like what's going on here?
Right.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting next year with him at LSU, Kiffin at LSU, Summerall at Florida now. Looks like the Vanderbilt coach is going to stay put. He signed a new deal. Mm-hmm. The Penn State job, this is kind of odd to me. Like, apparently they were negotiating with the BYU coach, and which I was like, that I did not see that one, but the BYU coach apparently signed an extension. This is my favorite time of the year because everybody's getting their money. Everybody's getting an extension now because nobody wants to lose.
Did you see
coaches.
But did you see who stepped in to like make sure that BYU did not lose its coach?
No,
so I don't know his name, so I'm not gonna try to like. But it is the CEO and founder of Crumble Cookie.
Oh, okay.
So the cookie money. So he reached into the cookie jar and found some extra funds to make sure that BYU did not lose its coach. So,
I mean, good for them, man. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But a big weekend of college football coming up. Obviously, the championship. It's championship weekend, so we are picking 9. Well, by the way, your boy was 8-2 last week.
Yeah, you were back this week.
I'm back, baby. I'm 82 and 58 overall. You're not too shabby from you, 7-3.
Yeah, I didn't lose I lost one game, so still within striking distance here. Not completely.
So we have 9 conference championship games that we will be picking here against the spread. Oh, by the way, before I forget, if you are interested, we will be doing a bowl mania through ESPN. We're going to do a Bless Them Bowls. We're still trying to figure. Did we decide on? Are we doing spread or are we doing? I think we're doing spread.
Yeah,
right?
Since we did spread last year, I think that's what we want to do again this year.
Okay, so we'll do spread, and we'll send out the link via Twitter, probably either tonight or tomorrow. But if you're listening to this, go ahead and join us. We'll pick out however many bowl games it is. I think it's now. What I don't know, I believe in the past they have included the college football playoff stuff in the bowl mania, but I did notice this year they have a separate college football playoff bracket game. So I don't know if that means – well, I guess we'll see once the bowls come out. But I don't know if that means they're going to just do 2 separate – if they do end up doing 2 separate ones, we might end up with 2 separate.
I think that's fine.
So we'll have to play that by ear. But anyway, let me pull up my my picks here. All right, we're going to start off in the Conference USA. I did not even know these 2 teams were in Conference USA until I saw this. But here we are. Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State playing for Conference USA title. Jacksonville State's the favorite here. They are laying 1.5 points. Kennesaw State 9-3, the Owls of Kennesaw State, against the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State, who are 8-4. Buddy, I got no clue here. I guess I'll lay the 1.5 with Jacksonville State.
I'm gonna so there has been a rumor. So Memphis's head coach left to go to Arkansas. One of the names that I heard mentioned was the Kennesaw State head coach. And so I will be taking Kennesaw State plus the 1.5 here.
Okay, so we'll be head to head there. All right, up next, the Sun Belt Championship. So another coach that just left, James Madison's coach, just got hired at UCLA to replace Deshaun Foster. There, they are 11-1 this season. James Madison, that is. They're playing Troy. Shout out to DeMarcus Ware.
Troy legend.
James Madison in this game is laying 22.5 points. I think I'm going to take the points with Troy here.
Yeah, I think the fact that they just lost their coach kind of
yeah.
So, yeah, and it's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. So I'm gonna take the points there. Up next, American Athletic Championship. Both of these teams lost their coaches. We talked about Tulane a minute ago. North Texas, their coach, whose name I can't remember, is now the coach, I believe, at Oklahoma State. I think that's where he landed.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So in this game,
is he a man? Is he a man? Is he 40?
That I cannot. I don't know. Maybe that's who will end up coaching Penn State is Mike Gundy. Could you imagine?
Oh, there we go. So that's a good match right there.
Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. All right. All right. North Texas against Tulane. The winner of this game, it looks like is going to be in the college football playoff.
Yeah, it seems like it.
So something to keep an eye on. Tulane is getting 2.5, so they're the 2.5 underdog. 2.5 point underdog is Tulane. North Texas 11-1, Tulane 10-2 on the season. I'm going to take the points with the Green Wave.
You would you gotta stick with your
my
Louisiana roots. We will be head to head on this one. I'm going to take North Texas and lay the points.
The mean green.
The mean green fighting machine.
All right, up next, the Mountain West Championship. By the way, all the games we have picked up to this point will be played on Friday, including the Mountain West Championship here. I don't know if you heard about, so apparently they had to use like a computer ranking to decide who played in the Mountain West, I guess because of tiebreakers or whatnot. And Dan Mullen, who's the head coach at UNLV right now, was basically like, look, we should be in the championship. We're the only team in the conference that has 10 wins. Wow. How is this? This isn't hard. So yeah, the 10-2 UNLV Rebels I'm guessing this is at Boise State, I think. Let me see here. Yeah, this is at Boise State. By the way, did you know Boise State Stadium is Albertson Stadium?
It is like the grocery store.
Yeah. I just saw that, but nevertheless, playing on the blue turf here on the Smurf turf, Boise State home favorite -3.5 points. I will take 3.5 with the Running Rebels here.
Yeah, I am with you. I will take UNLV.
All right, up next, now we're transitioning to Saturday here. So first game on Saturday, Big 12 Championship, a rematch here. BYU against Texas Tech. This game, I believe, is in Jerry's World, right? They play this one in
yeah,
Cowboy
they usually
Stadium?
do. They've moved it there.
Okay. So BYU is getting 13.5 against the Red Raiders. Again, BYU's coach spurned advances from Penn State, so he will
for the cookie money.
There. For the cookie money, correct. I will. I'm going to lay the 13.5 with Texas Tech. I've been very impressed with the Red Raiders this year.
Yeah, I am with you there. I will also.
And I should mention, as of right now, the Texas Tech, thanks to the loss by A&M, Texas Tech is now in the top 4. So they right now are going to look like they're going to get a bye in the first round of that college football playoff.
Assuming they win this game, of course.
Assuming they win, of course. Yeah. Up next, the MAC Championship. Miami of Ohio and Western Michigan. The Broncos of Western Michigan are laying 2.5. I'll lay the 2.5 with Western Michigan.
Gotta roll with Western Michigan. Alma mater of Marshawn Nealon.
Of course. No, well then, yeah, that's definitely. I was like, I knew I was compelled to select them for some reason. Okay, I'm going to zag here a second. We're gonna save the two big ones for last. Let's jump to the nightcap here. Well, one of the nightcaps, ACC Championship.
This is a flaming pile of garbage right here.
The ACC Championship.
Don't nobody want to watch this.
Is this a basketball game?
I'd rather watch that.
So Duke, Virginia. Now the rumor is if Duke somehow wins this, then the ACC could be locked out of the college football playoff. I don't know if you've heard about this.
I wonder if Duke loses. I wonder if UT can actually sneak in the back door with that.
I don't know. Well, no, you would need Duke to win. You would need Duke to win.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah. So if Virginia, I need Virginia to lose, or Virginia to lose here.
Well, either way, Duke against Virginia here. Virginia's laying 2.5. I'll lay the 2.5 with the Cavaliers.
I will as well.
All right, let's go back to the big one in the SEC championship here. Georgia, Alabama. Feels like this is the SEC championship every year, but say it is what it is. This game is in Atlanta. Alabama will be getting 1.5 points. These two teams played already, yes?
Yes, and Georgia beat them.
Georgia won?
I'm pretty sure they beat Alabama in the first
Okay,
matchup.
well I'm gonna lay the 1.5 with Georgia in this one. Shout out to our guy Donnie, the Broncos fan. He is a Crimson Tide fan as well. But I'm gonna lay the 1.5 with the Bulldogs.
Oh no! I was wrong. Alabama beat.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought
24-21.
I thought so. This would be Georgia avenging their only loss of the season if they can win this. The winner of this game most likely will get a bye in the college football playoff.
Yeah. I'm gonna take Georgia to get revenge this time.
All right, save the big one for last here. The Big Ten championship. Number 2, Indiana. Number 1, Ohio State. This game is going to be played in Indianapolis at the house that Peyton Manning built.
Indianapolis.
The house that Peyton Manning built. The Hoosiers are getting 5.5. I think it's the Hoosiers' year, buddy. I'm going to take the 5.5 with the Hoosiers. Both of these teams are going to be in the playoff either way, but obviously the winner. Obviously, the winner of this game will be the number 1 team in the country.
Right. I'm also taking the Hoosiers.
I just hope this is a good game. I want to see. I want this to be kind of a. Obviously, Ohio State got their revenge on Michigan this past week, so they're coming in feeling pretty good about themselves.
So we are head to head on the Jacksonville State. Kennesaw State game. You took Jacksonville State. I took Kennesaw. Tulane, North Texas. I took North Texas. You took Tulane.
Right.
The Alabama. You took Alabama. I took Georgia. And
No. I took Georgia. I didn't take Alabama.
You took Georgia? Oh, for some reason I thought you took Alabama.
No, I said Georgia's going to avenge their only loss.
Okay. I thought that's what I said. Okay. Anyway, if we're okay, so those are the
somebody said it.
Somebody said. Okay.
So we're head to head on 2.
2, yeah. Jacksonville State and North Texas Tulane.
So you can't catch me then, right?
I could if I got both of them. Oh no. That's right.
No, because you're 4 behind.
Maybe I need to change my picks on some of these.
Well, there you go. You got a strategery, buddy. You gotta have that.
Is this the last week for this game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the last week because this is after this it's bowls and. So I will give you. I'll give you a chance here. If
okay, I'm going to take James Madison to lay the points.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with Western Michigan. I'm going to flip to Alabama.
Okay. There you go. So there's 4. So you need one more if you want to.
I'm going to take Boise State. Playing at home on the blue turf.
Okay, against UNLV.
There. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, there we go. Just need to hit all of those. And
there you go. So if I hit one, well, I need to hit 2 of them.
Right, because we could still tie if you just hit one.
I hit 2 of them. Yeah. Actually, hang on. Wait. Let me make sure I actually made my picks here. Yeah.
Okay. No, don't make the picks.
There's Jacksonville, Troy, Tulane, UNLV, Texas Tech, Western Michigan. Shout out to Marshawn Nealon, Indiana, Georgia, and Virginia. Okay. All right, buddy. Want to transition to the pro ball here?
Let's go.
All right. Let's get our picks out of the way here. Preseason picks, we were both 10-6 for the week.
Correct.
I I am 115-79. You are 119-74. I do have 3 teams correctly predicted. Their records correctly predicted so far. The Falcons, the Lions, and the Jets. Those are the
I do
three.
not have the teams, but I checked this morning. I have 5 correctly predicted. I don't have the teams listed, though.
I'll take your word for it, man. All right, let's go to the ESPN Pick'em here in the spread. We both had a decent week. I was 7-9. You were 8-8. I'm sitting at
Even
80,
Stevens.
and I'm sitting at. Oh, I guess I'm wrong. Okay. So according to ESPN, I'm 79-115. I have myself at 80-114. It's probably something with the tie. You are at 8-8 for the week. You are 89-105 for the season. Andy still leading the group, 96-98 for the season. He was 9-7. Our buddy Donnie was 6-10 for the week. He's sitting at 95-98. In the confidence, Brandon's still in the lead. 122-71 for the season. He's sitting at 1,087 points. I am number 2. I'm sitting at 112-81, 9 with 977 points. I was even Steven for the week, 8-8, 84 points. You were 10-6, 83 points. Win totals. So we now have 12 teams whose win totals have been decided. We added, I believe it was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We added 7 teams this week, or at least since the last time we checked it. So the Ravens have hit under 11.5. The Chiefs have hit under 11.5. The Broncos, shout out to our guy Donnie, have hit over 9.5. Cardinals have hit under 8.5. The Bears, shout out to Andy, are over 8.5. Seahawks over 8.5. And the Panthers over 6.5. Up to this point, I am 8-4. Our guy Andy is 7-5. And my good friend Brandon here is even Steven, 6-6. I'll tell you this: the 4 for me were the Colts. I took the under; they hit the over. The Ravens and Chief, I took the over on both of them; they hit the under. And I don't know why I took the Cardinals over 8.5. I must have been like,
man, what were you smoking?
I have no idea. I saw that when I was going through it today. I was like, what? Like what? The Cardinals? Oh well. I am leading the win-loss game, or the skins game, as it were. I am up 125-113 for you, sir. I think your problem was you picked the Rams losses. I think that's where you're.
Well, I thought the guy getting an epidural wasn't going to be healthy. Can you blame me?
No. Listen, I was going through it. I was like, man, I'm like, what did he miss on? He must have and that's what it was.
The Cowboys have also gotten hot, so Cowboys losses is kind of turned on me too. Well, so that's I'll take it.
And I lucked out, I think, because hang on, let me pull this up real quick because I'm curious. I lucked out because there was a team who I picked their losses. So I have Bills wins, Chiefs, Saints losses. That helps. I have Titans losses. That definitely helps.
Yeah.
Oh, Colts. So my big swing was Colts losses. I had Colts losses, which obviously I would have preferred to have their wins. Oh, it was Commanders wins. That's another one that sucks for me.
That's a tough one.
Cardinals wins also. Oh, and Vikings losses. Vikings losses was a sneaky good one to pick.
That was a sneaky good one.
Because that's what it is. Like one of the teams you just have to. As long as 1 or 2 flip right for you, then you're in pretty good shape. But
yeah,
125-113 as it stands. You still have some opportunities to. I mean, we only have 5 weeks left of the season, buddy.
I know it's going by fast.
All right, let's get to the Week 13 recap. We're going to start with gotta support the team.
All right, Paul. Do you want to kick it off this week?
Yeah, I'll go first because I'm gonna give you some room to cook here in a little bit. I'll make mine short and sweet. Ricky Williams presents Dolphins 21, Saints 17. As I texted you on Sunday, this was kind of the best kind of loss for the Saints because they still have trouble coming out of the gates in the first quarter, which Kellen Moore admitted to, but God help us if he's actually going to fix it. I don't know. I did talk about go ahead.
This isn't going to make you feel any better, but I feel like when he was with the Cowboys also had trouble getting off the fast starts with the offense. So
yeah, so
maybe a feature, not a bug.
Shout out to Timothy Jones on Twitter. He's a Saints content creator. He posted because I was complaining about the red zone last week, and he posted like Kellen Moore's red zone success rate with the Chargers, the Cowboys, the Eagles, and now with the Saints, and it's basically all the same. Like he is who he is. Like it's not, to your point.
So even with the Eagles, he wasn't.
Yeah, like it was. Well, it was a little better. It was a little better, but I mean, like, I guess that was probably more. Yeah, that was more of a.
You could just tush push with that. Yeah, you could have a tush push with that.
I'll pull it up here after we in a little bit, just so I can speak to it. But yeah, I mean the promising news out of this was the Shough and Valet. So Valet was this receiver we traded for from the Broncos and like didn't use him at all, and then now. Last couple of weeks since we traded Shaheed, we've had to play him, and he looks pretty good. Like him and Shough have a pretty decent chemistry. This is definitely again kind of like last week. Shough isn't the reason we lost this game. I would say he's not. I'm not saying he's the reason. He's not going to be the reason we win any games. But I don't think he's the reason we're losing any games. I think he's shown enough to take the Saints out of the quarterback market going into 2026. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. I don't
One of the Athletic Football Show podcasts said that he thought you could actually see like pretty good improvement from where he was from the preseason even to like his first start. Like you're seeing him like actually make progress, and that's I don't know if it's like going to be enough to say like you want to roll with him, but at least you don't have to be desperate, right? You can wait until you find if you don't think he's a guy who can take you over the top in the long term, you at least can get by with him in the meantime and have a functional offense with him.
Yeah. The other thing I'll mention is so Kamara did not play this game. Which
what a wasted draft pick.
But he Devin Neal, who's the running back we drafted out of Kansas, I just wish they would just give him more touches. They kind of split time with him and Evan Hull, who they signed off of somebody's practice squad. And I mean, it's just like I don't know. I wish they would just give Devin Neal, some more touches. Just because.
Maybe that's the problem, is that their first names sound too much alike, and they're like, "Hey, Devin, get in," and then Evan runs out, and they don't have time to get the other guy back. No.
That could be it. The offensive line's still a problem for the Saints. I mean, it's still
is Banks still out?
No, I thought he played.
Okay. I didn't know because I knew he'd gotten injured at some point, so I didn't know if that was causing part of the problem.
No, actually, it's the other side. Fuanga,
the right side.
So Fuanga, he got banged up at one point earlier this season, because our buddy Awesome Richards had to start that one game. But in this game, he had a rough game, and then so Shough leads him down the field, throws a beautiful pass to Valet for a touchdown, and Valet makes a very good catch for a touchdown, and that made the score 19-17. So the Saints go for two. Well, they line up to go for two, and Fuanga false starts, so that backs them up. And then Shough proceeds to throw a pick two. An interception that gets returned for 2 points.
Right.
And then another bright spot in the game for the Saints, Charlie Smith, who's their new kicker since Blake Grupe got cut, makes his first field goal. It was like a 56-yarder, I want to say. And successfully kicks an onside kick. And the Saints actually recovered it. So, believe it or not, the Saints recovering an onside kick in Miami reminds me of a Super Bowl some years ago. Which, by the way, I didn't mention this last week because I didn't realize this. I read this during the week. This was the first time the Saints had played a game in Miami since that Super Bowl.
How is that possible?
I'll tell you. So they played in Miami in 2009 during the regular season, and then obviously played that Super Bowl. 2013, the Dolphins came to New Orleans.
Right.
2017.
Was there a hurricane?
That game was no. That game got moved to London. That was a London game.
Ah, okay.
And then 2021 it was back in New Orleans.
Back in New Orleans, yeah.
And that 2021 game, was the Monday night debacle where Ian Book had to start because everybody had COVID.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So
the Ian Book game.
So the Ian Book game. Now, if I may, for a moment, just speak on the Dolphins. We talked about this last week, buddy. I don't think Mike McDaniel's getting fired. I think he saved his job. This is the most startling thing. And if you look at their schedule, they play the Jets this week. Then they play like the Steelers and the Bengals back to back. Like they're not.
The worst part of they're going to hit the over is what makes me the maddest about this.
Well, yeah, because you and I were both like, I had a futures on them of like finishing last in the division. I thought, yeah, hit the under. I would have bet like McDaniel first coach fired. I would have done all that.
Oh, we were not in on the Dolphins at all. This show is is very anti-Dolphins.
We were very anti-Dolphins, but hey,
we were basically the tuna nets because we were just killing the Dolphins.
But yeah, look, they've got 5 games left now. They're 5-7, I believe. So who knows? Stranger things have happened. The AFC playoff picture is a little muddy right now. But we'll talk more about that.
This is one of those years where I wish the Cowboys were in the AFC because the AFC is it's a mess. Getting into the playoffs is pretty easy over there.
Well, because even the teams at the top, and we can talk about this more a little later, there's no team in the AFC that you look at and you definitively think, yep, that's the team. Like that's the one that's going to run the table here.
They're all flawed, because we've gotten so used to Kansas City, Baltimore, Buffalo being the kind of 3 at the top, and those teams have all obviously had troubles this year due to injuries, bad luck, bad defense, and then the Patriots, you think they're winning games, but they're also doing it against one of the worst schedules in the NFL. Like they're playing their schedule looks like the A&M schedule is that they ain't played nobody. Like the one team that the best team that they beat is the Bills, and the Bills look incredibly flawed this year. And so sure they're talented and we love the Drake on this show, but
we do.
How far do you think they can get just given their youth and inexperience going into the playoffs?
It is kind of infuriating that the Patriots dynasty basically took 2 years off, 3 years off. What was it? Brady left in 2019. So I guess 6 years because Brady left in 19. They had the one good year with Mac Jones, and then so
someone posted a meme and it was like you wanted to kill this, and it was like kill the Chiefs, and then it had Thanos with the Patriots logo pasted on his face. It's like, and where did that bring you? Back to me.
Right.
So,
well, yeah, no, I mean, if you look at the AFC standings right now, it looks like 2007 because it's like the Patriots, the Broncos, the Colts, the Jaguars, like all these teams that were good in like the early 2000s or mid 2000s are now back. But yeah, I mean, we'll see with the Saints. I'll just end it here. They have the Bucks this week, and then they play the Jets and the Titans back to back. So that fighting for that draft pick, buddy. We're fighting for that number one spot. But
it's like it's like the street bums videos. bum fights. That's what I'm thinking.
Bum fights. Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, I will now turn the floor over to you for your thrilling Cowboys victory on Thanksgiving Day.
This game did not get much like last week. This game did not get off to a good start because the Cowboys get the ball first. Dak gets heated up on a blitz and throws an interception, and then 2 plays later, the Chiefs have a long touchdown to Rashee Rice on this like sort of just quick out pass where nobody's able to take a good angle against them. Chiefs are up 7-0, and you feel like, oh no, here come the Chiefs. Cowboys did a good job of answering, and not only that, but answering quickly. So they tied the game 7 apiece, and then eventually got out to like I think a 17-14 lead. I told you this, but Dak after that first interception against the blitz, 15 of 18 for 190 yards. So basically 10 yards over 10 yards an attempt in this game when he was blitzed. They tried to heat him up, and he just like some of it was just picking up the blitz correctly, identifying it, but also a lot of like just really good movement in the pocket. And he was just like throwing darts around the field. He had one other pass that probably should have been picked off, through kind of like right to the linebacker. But other than that, just like played one of the most incredible games. He had a 50-yard bomb to CeeDee Lamb, who pretty much overcame the drop problem that he had against Philly last week. And then the defense Mahomes was able to escape a lot of the pressure that they had because he's Mahomes. But they got pressure pretty frequently. Quinnen Williams had pressures. Jadeveon Clowney, I think, based on PFF, led the league in pass rush win rate this week.
I completely forgot that Jadeveon Clowney was a Dallas Cowboy, and I'm watching the game.
Good. He had like,
and I'm watching the game, and I'm like, is that Jadeveon Clowney playing for the Cowboys?
Yeah, he's been good. He still got it, man.
God bless him. A almost patron saint Cowboy, because I think the Saints either signed him or like worked him out, but he never played it. Like he
never actually played
on the practice squad, or like there was something there, or maybe I'm misremembering. But so what? Okay, so let me ask this question, because I did watch a good bit of this game. Yeah, I did think I thought Dak. I mean, so like you said with Mahomes, he did have that one crazy play where he's like falling down, throwing, and Xavier Worthy's just wide open in the middle of the field.
Yeah, exactly. There's like somebody lost the fast guy.
Right, exactly. But from a Cowboys perspective, their defense definitely looks marginally better than they did.
So the thing was, at the beginning of the year, it was so bad that it was like you couldn't do anything, and it also put more pressure on the offense to like have to be perfect. And like I said it, the guys on Locked On Cowboys said it, is like, if you can just be average, you be in such a better position. And now, I mean, that's basically what they are. They may be like, they are a they can get pressure up the middle with the guys that they have at defensive tackle. They've gotten players back at linebacker, safety, cornerback. I think Trayvon Diggs may not play this Thursday, but he may play. But he's slated to come back next week, and so they'll have another guy. So they're getting guys back, getting guys healthy, and then the addition of Quinnen Williams has like really, really improved the defense.
Yeah, he seems like the real deal, buddy. So, all right, I don't want to get your hopes up. I'm just gonna run through your schedule real quick. So you got Lions on Thursday.
Yep.
Come back. You get a 10-day break because you have the Sunday night game the following week. Home against Minnesota, winnable.
Mm-hmm.
You got the following week. You host the Chargers, which, depending on the Herbert's situation, could be winnable.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's winnable. It's winnable either way.
Right.
And then you close out the season at Washington and at the Giants, which are two very winnable games.
Right.
So you are currently, what are you currently? 6-5-1.
6-5-1.
I think if you get to 10 wins, you have a puncher's chance. You probably need to hope that you're going up against Green Bay, honestly, because I just don't see Seattle and San Francisco, I think, are just so far.
Well, and San Francisco
ahead.
is also another team that like they don't play nobody. Sort of
right.
They play the teams in their division,
now,
but everybody after that is bad.
I mean, we can give me a second here and let me pull up San Francisco. So San Francisco's at 9 wins right now.
They still have a game against Seattle left. I know that much.
They have a game against Seattle. They're off this week. They have 4 games left. The 49ers have 4 games left. Home Titans, at Colts, home Bears, home Seahawks. So those last 2 games are kind of iffy, Bears and Seahawks. And even the Colts game, game's, I mean, they have to go to Indianapolis depending on Danny Dimes' health and, you know, if the Colts continue to free fall. Obviously, the Titans game next week, the 49ers are already a 12.5-point favorite over the Titans next week.
That sounds about right.
So that'll tell you what you need to know there. But yeah, and I just, you know, I don't. So yeah, I think Green Bay could be your team to go after, or like we said with the Eagles, if the Eagles can, you know, somehow.
If Dallas wins out, they need Philadelphia to, because they are currently 2 games back of Philadelphia right now, and so if you win 5, you would need Philadelphia to just win 3, so they would need to lose 2 more. So I think that's the other route to getting in.
I would say, and we talked about it a little earlier. Philly's got Chargers on Monday night this week, Raiders, and they have the Commanders sandwich with the Bills in the middle.
Yeah. The Chargers and the Bills are the 2 most likely games that they would lose in that. But I mean, I think a lot of it depends on is Jayden Daniels playing? Like divisional games can get wonky.
And listen, like the Raiders' broken clock only needs to be right once. Like, you know what I mean? Like
they did beat the Patriots this year, so
I mean
there is that.
Like
it's a daunting task, but like they're playing. They're playing well. They're playing well, and so like it's not out of the question yet.
I just had a thought, Brandon. Do you know who the backup quarterback for the Raiders is?
Kenny Pickett,
former
Eagle.
So if for some reason Geno can't play or whatever, if it's Kenny Pickett revenge game, might be onto something.
I've watched him play all season. Geno Smith cannot play.
Well, and their offensive line is bad.
It is so bad. Like it is a nightmare for like nobody. I mean, like you'd be hard pressed to find a quarterback who could play behind that offensive line right now. To be fair,
Jalen Carter's going to be licking his chops against that offensive line.
Speaking of which, and this is another conversation we had off the air, but we should talk about Tyler Booker over the past 2 weeks has handled both Jalen Carter and now I'm thinking for Chris Jones.
Chris Jones.
He has played like we might have, they got a dog. Like you remember because I did threaten to quit the draft show in the middle of the stream. But then after
fans who were with us on our live stream of the draft, you one of us on this call, it was not me, when Tyler Booker was selected by the Cowboys, was I believe because I had run to use the restroom, and when I got back, you were like, Paul, I think I'm quitting, and I'm like, what happened?
This also
draft.
This also looks better because they have because Matthew Golden has not exactly like lit up the scene in Green Bay either. So like
my fantasy team can attest to that. He is not.
Golden Boy is having some trouble this year.
Yep.
So as is his son, Baby Blue.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Yeah, but I will say, like, I he gave that speech when Micah Parsons was still a Cowboy. He talked to him and said, I want to see the football as a fun game, and when I play against somebody, I want to see the joy that they have for playing football leave their body and leave. And so, and Micah Parsons was like, "Yo, let's go." You're starting to see that, like, he's not.
Yeah.
He wasn't kidding when he said that. He's like he's going to try to make you like not want to play anymore. So, big shout out to him. The Cowboys like really in their first 3 draft picks between him, Donovan Ezeraku, and Siobhan Revell, who's playing really well, coming back off an injury. Like they really nailed their first 3 draft picks this year.
Absolutely, I'm happy for you, buddy. It would be nice if one of our teams could make the playoffs, but we'll see. All right, let's get on to the really, really great. I forgot about that part.
That end part is what really makes it.
Yeah, really great. I'll let you start this one.
Yeah, so I forgot to include the team that the sponsor of this show, but the Buffalo Bills, who needed this, who've been struggling a little recently, went in.
This was Marv Matuzak presented this one.
He presents the Bills absolutely demolishing the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we've reached the point where this was I came into the season being down on the Steelers, and saying that this could get ugly. This could be the year that the streak ends. They may still finish over 500, but we've got Aaron Rodgers throwing teammates under the bus now. Did you see the shot of him on the sideline with a beat up face? And someone said it looks like he just tried to rob Kevin McAllister's house.
Yeah.
But the Bills, who like had trouble this year, and especially with the defense, they just kind of took this game over, and just their run game. They found something in the run game where they were just able to go to it over and over and over again and just pound the ball. And then I think they also had they didn't have a pick six. They had the strip sack fumble recovery. Is that correct?
The Bills?
Yeah. And so their defense was just struggle. They had a defensive touchdown, and I know this because I played against them in fantasy, but I can't remember exactly what happened. But just the fact that they were able to go play against a Pittsburgh team, and this was in Pittsburgh, was it not?
It was. Yeah, it was a pit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my experience watching this game was pretty close at halftime. And then I went to help my wife with something. And when I came back, it was like Buffalo was up 2 scores.
It went like that. And then they just poured it on. They were able to just suck the will to live out of Pittsburgh. And I thought for a Buffalo team that's kind of been very up and down, I think going on the road and being able to play against a team that's sort of got a reputation for being physical and being able to drag you into the muck, Buffalo coming out of this with a very convincing win was just really great really, really great. Don't you think
Really
so,
great.
Paul?
Good job by you there.
And then
go ahead.
And then the other side of this is also like the Steelers. I think, we talked about this. It feels like this is. I think we finally reached the point where you need to do some soul searching if you're the Steelers, and I think maybe a change of coach seems like it's probably in the best interest. I think in the best interest of both parties at this point.
I will say this. Rich Eisen on his show, they do the Overreaction Monday segment. And one of the topics this week was something along those lines of like the Mike Tomlin era might be over in Pittsburgh. And this has come up in previous years, and Rich has been like pretty adamant, like that ain't happening. Like just stop it. Just this time he was like, you know what? You might be right. Like this, like he kind of soft shoot it a little bit to be like, might be something there.
It's been, and the problem is it's just like every year you're playing to just barely finish over 500, maybe make the playoffs, and then you got the 20th pick in the draft, and you're basically like you're stuck on this cycle of like mediocrity basically at this point.
Yeah,
like,
they're a better version of the Saints under Dennis Allen. They've like you said. They just recycle these quarterbacks to get them through one season, get them one season to the next. But until they either trade up to get a guy that they like, or I know they drafted the kid from Ohio State, Will Howard, this year, but
they also the other guy that they drafted was Kenny Pickett, and like that just
Pickett, and then
that was the other one that they like never worked out.
Yeah. So we'll see. And I'm gonna kind of take Pittsburgh, the AFC North, and I'm gonna transition a little bit. So I have another one written down here, but I'm gonna pivot.
You pivot.
I'm gonna call an audible.
Call an audible. There you go.
And I'm gonna go with the Bengals beating the Ravens on Thanksgiving night. Joe Burrow coming back. This is what I'll say, buddy. Ravens play the Steelers this week. They're both 6-6, but lurking 2 games behind are the Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Burrow back. Now look, I'm not falling for this. I'm not falling for this again, but I'm just going to say, if the Bengals can beat the Bills, which is a big if, because they got to play in Buffalo, it's a big if. But if they can do that and they get to 5-8, right? They'd be 5-8, and then obviously either the Steelers or the Ravens are going to be 7-6. The other one's going to be 6-7, assuming they don't tie. Yes, stop. Now, if I'm the Bengals, I probably am going to be rooting for the Ravens, only because I've already beaten the Ravens and I play the Ravens one more time. I don't play the Steelers again. I've already split with the Steelers. So we talked about the AFC playoff picture a minute ago, buddy. Like it's pretty wild. Now, the Bengals' only path at this point is probably the AFC North. Like I don't think a wild card's in their future, but it was at least nice to see Burrow back and playing well. And like
he made some throws in this game that were pretty impressive,
and did not have T. Higgins. By the way, T. Higgins was not playing, as my fantasy team again can attest. Luckily, Yoshi. But. Yeah, I'm just really, if nothing else, we now get Burrow versus Allen this weekend. We get Burrow down the stretch. We'll see what they can do, if they can make a run at this. I will say this: whoever wins the AFC North, they're not going very far in the playoffs. Like,
one and done sort of situation.
I think it's a one and done situation. I will give a special shout out to the New York Jets and Cowboy legend Nick Folk kicking
still kicking.
I think what was it, like a 56-yarder at the end to beat the Falcons in the wind in Meadowlands. Got the game ball from his coach / former teammate Aaron Glenn.
That's how long Nick Folk has been.
That's how long Nick Folk's. Yeah, they were teammates on the Cowboys, and now Aaron Glenn is his coach. The Jets have been a little feisty the last couple weeks. Ever since they switched to Tyrod Taylor,
I think that was a good move.
Been a little feisty. I mean, look, they're not gonna. I mean, are they eliminated from the? No, I think they get eliminated this week if they
okay.
Lose. I think they're. I don't think they're eliminated just yet, but I have this in our notes for later. Yeah, if they lose this week, they get eliminated. So, now listen. If I came on here and be like, the Jets, they gotta, then I'm off the reservation.
Well, I told you, I think my perspective from that, my takeaway from that game was like, this is not making the Saints' loss to the Falcons look any better by comparison.
No, it's not. Now the Saints do play the Jets here in a couple weeks, so we'll see that for our own eyes. I do want to mention Bengals 32, Ravens 14. That was brought to you by Saints legend Jeff Blake, and Jets 27, Falcons 24. That was brought to you by former Arizona Cardinal head coach Ken Wisenhunt.
Well, there you go.
So, all right, let's get into Sweet Fancy Moses. So, I'll start this one off if you don't mind. And I'm going to the Pacific Northwest here. I'm going to go to Mike Jones. Who? Seahawks 26, Vikings 0. So my Sweet Fancy Moses is focusing on the Vikings here. So Max Brosmer gets his first career start against a Seattle defense. I have Seattle's defense on my fantasy team, so this worked out very well for me.
That was a pretty rough team to start your career again.
It was pretty bad. The Vikings quarterback situation is rough, to say the very least. Even if, obviously McCarthy's not working out, I think. Now, look, this is a second-year starter, missed the entire rookie season.
I was going to say second-year starters.
Well, he's basically a rookie.
Yeah.
He's basically
exactly. Yeah.
So we'll see. But it just, I don't know. Like I think it's gonna I think they're gonna give him a little bit of leash, but I would not be surprised if in the offseason they bring in a veteran of some regard to kind of
Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray might be available.
Yeah. They had Daniel Jones. Everybody talks about the Sam Darnold thing. They had Daniel Jones on that team. Like, Daniel Jones was right there. And they let him just...
do you want to know what the funniest thing is, though? The Minnesota Vikings just released from their practice squad Desmond Ridder. So imagine being...
I didn't realize it.
Imagine being so bad that you were on the Vikings team. They just watched. Wow. They've watched J.J. McCarthy and Max Brosmer do what they have done over the past part of the way, and then saying, I don't think so. That's not going to feel good. That's speaking of Sweet Fancy Moses. What was Desmond Ridder doing on the practice squad that made him cuttable at this point? Yeah, it made him expendable at this point.
So I do want to just very quickly say Seahawks keep rolling along. Obviously, this is a Sam Darnold revenge game. The Seahawks are still in it in the NFC West. The game I'll talk about in our next segment helped out related to the Rams. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So, I'll say this, man. The Seahawks defense, I know it was Max Brosmer at quarterback, but that defense is legitimately good.
They are really good. They might be.
Yeah, it's not.
I think, but it's probably between them and Houston for the best defense in the league right now.
I'd throw Denver in there too, but yeah, I think it's one of those three.
Yeah, I feel like Denver hasn't been up to what they were last year, and I think that I know they're missing Defensive Player of the Year, so that may have something to do with it. But I would say, but you're right; those are probably like the three best defenses in the league right now.
That's probably what you're looking at. What do you have, Brandon, for your Sweet Fancy Moses?
So I will kind of build off what you started with, but the rookie quarterbacks this week in the NFL, Max Brosmer was the league worst in QBR this week. He had a 5.6 QBR. The other rookie quarterbacks, Tyler Shough was the best. He had a QBR of 29.9, so still pretty bad. The other rookie quarterbacks, Cam Ward, 17.2, Shadur Sanders, 16.1. Then sandwiched between Shadur Sanders at 16.1 and Max Brosmer at 5.6 were two veterans, Mr. Tua Tagovailoa at 8.1 and Aaron Rodgers against the Buffalo Bills at 6.2. So just some pretty rough quarterback play.
Hang on. What was Tua's QBR again?
8.1.
And they still beat the Saints.
Pretty
That's all you need. I mean, what else do you need to know, folks?
That says it all. That says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The
rookie quarterbacks had a rough week.
I will also point out Mr. Jalen Hurts this week, 19.3. So Tyler Shough outplayed Jalen Hurts this week in terms of QBR. So good work, Mr. Shough.
There's a feather in our cap.
There you go. Now we get to one of the more random segments here. You gotta love sports. There we go. Finally got it.
Do you want to start off on this one?
Yeah, so I think the thing that's really intriguing right now is the Indianapolis Colts lose to the Houston Texans this week, and with the win, the Jacksonville Jaguars jump into first place in the AFC South. They are now your division leaders, but the whole AFC South race right now it looked pretty done a couple of weeks ago. It looked like Indianapolis was going to be able to run away with this. They were up on the Chiefs. They had the division lead. Now they lost that game against the Chiefs. They've now lost again. They still have to play Jacksonville twice, and they also have to play Houston again. And so, the division is completely up for grabs.
And they have to play the Seahawks and the 49ers.
Yeah, so their schedule gets a little rough. I still think they're probably going to end up making the playoffs based on the rest of the AFC. But where they are right now, based on what – and it doesn't help. They've also got the situation now with Daniel Jones, who's got the leg injury, a minor fracture in the leg. That doesn't seem to bode well. And I'm sure that did not help against the pass rush that had Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter just gunning for him consistently. And the other one of the other parts about this is I bet on Will Anderson Jr. at plus 1900 to win Defensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett is having the most insane season of his life. If not, I think Will Anderson actually probably could have won Defensive Player of the Year because he's having a great season and he's probably the best player on what could be the league's best defense, if not one of the top two or three. But just the fact that, and I think Jacksonville has had some Jacksonville is in the division lead, but they could have an even bigger lead if they had held on to that Texans game where they were up going into the fourth quarter. They also had the game against the Bengals that they just blew for no reason. Jacksonville is two incredibly stupid losses away from just running away with this division. As someone on this show predicted they might be able to win the division. I did not see this sort of performance. But
I'm with you. It feels like the Colts are kind of in a free fall. We'll see if they can. I mean, the Jaguars are also facing a lot of injuries. Obviously, Travis Hunter's out for the season. I believe their left tackle, their left tackle's in the concussion protocol now.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm the Texans, obviously you got a big game this week in Kansas City against the Chiefs. That's priority number one. But past that, if I'm the Texans, I'm rooting for the Colts to win against the Jaguars this week because you've beaten the Colts and you play them again. It's kind of like the Bengals-Ravens scenario we talked about earlier.
Well, they do. The Texans do also have another. They have beaten the Jags and do have one more against them. So there is still that.
So they do play the Jags again? I thought they were done. I thought they were done against the Jags.
Oh, really? I thought they had another one against the Jags left.
Because the Jags still have to play the Titans twice.
Oh, okay. So that's another.
Yeah. So I think the Jags, of the three teams, the Jaguars are set up the best down the stretch from a schedule perspective.
Well, the Jaguars beat the Titans this week, so they got one more against the.
Well, yeah, sorry. So they play the Titans one, but the Texans have the Chiefs this week. The host the Cardinals, host the Raiders at the Chargers, and then last game of the year is hosting the Colts, which that might end up being for a playoff spot, honestly.
Okay, so the Jaguars split. You're right. They split with the Texans. They beat them 17-10 in week 3, and then lost 36-29 in a game where they
was that stupid 29-10 comeback for the Texans with Davis Mills.
Yeah. You if you're the Jags, you cannot let that happen. Like, that's just completely unconscionable. But what about you?
Well, I was going to say real quick, looking at the Texans schedule, I see 2 more wins pretty much, like against the Cardinals and the Raiders at home. You should win those 2. That gets you to 9. Mm-hmm. If you can beat either the Chargers or the Chiefs, if you can win one of those 2 games and you get to 10, you got to feel pretty good.
Right.
I do think this is a year where a 10-win team, at least one 10-win team, does not make the playoffs.
Right, it feels like that.
It just feels like that's where we're headed.
Especially in the NFC.
Yeah, and I'm gonna actually shift to the NFC. We talked about the Seahawks a minute ago. The Rams, I think I mentioned this last week. I picked them, but I said, you're going to Carolina. Carolina plays better at home. This is the dumbest team in the NFL. And then you wake up Sunday morning and lo and behold, it's raining in Carolina. And Stafford has his worst game of the year by far. Mm-hmm. And Carolina and Bryce Young does just enough. The defense does just enough to pull out the win. And now here we are. Carolina's got 7 wins. They hit their over, which I said they would, but good for me. But and they're off this week. They're only a game back of Tampa Bay. They still have to play Tampa twice in the last 4 weeks. They still have a trip to New Orleans on their docket, which, I mean, the Saints beat them. This is how stupid the Panthers are. They lost to the Saints at home after beating the Packers in Lambeau. Now they beat the Rams at home. They beat, who else did they shut out the Falcons.
That was the 30-0 game too. Like, they had that whole situation.
This team is stupid.
They also had the miracle comeback against the Dolphins where they were down 17-0 and then somehow managed to come back and win that game.
Barely beat the Jets. They only beat the Jets by 7 points. They're just ridiculous. It's like, how they had you remember the 2 podcasters who hosted the Panthers podcast and they quit?
Yes.
And then they came back. It's like this team is ridiculous. And yes, I am a bitter Saints fan, but I'll just
Matthew Stafford QBR this week just below Tyler Shough. That's
hey. So I know the Stafford MVP took a hit this week, and now it looks like the Drake maybe we might.
He's in the lead. He is the current favorite in Vegas.
He's the betting favorite.
That. He is right now.
Man, what a time! What a time to be a Patriots fan. I do want to real quickly, since we have not talked about the Broncos yet. Do
we have a Donnie Dispatch?
We have a Donnie Dispatch. We probably just need to give him his own segment. I mean, he basically has one, but
this is his segment.
This is his segment. Let me give you a quick Denver Dispatch, Week 13 from Donnie. The Broncos win, I guess. Kind of a perplexing game in many ways. The Commanders were pretty good on offense. They limited the Broncos' pressure by getting the ball out quick. Before we judge Denver too much, let's remember Vance Joseph was Cliff Kingsbury's defensive coordinator when Cliff was Arizona's head coach. Commanders were also coming off a bye. I'm sure Cliff had some insight on Vance's tendencies. Also helps Commanders had McLaurin and Debo back. Bo was mostly good outside a really bad interception. Denver has to find a running back with size somewhere. Too bad they didn't have your guy Javonte Williams anymore.
I know. If only they had a competent running back there to find the holes.
Donnie does say great win by the Cowboys. Obviously, that win helps the Broncos out.
I was going to say I expected something about the Cowboys beating the Chiefs for him this week.
Yeah. So the Broncos are now 4 games up on the Chiefs with 5 weeks left. So that's something. Donnie does have a quick college rant here. I'll try to get through this quickly. This show is mostly pro football, but I wanted to take a minute to gripe about college football. He's got some problems with you people. Now you're going to hear it. The people in charge of college football do not care about the fans. No decisions made in the last decade plus have been with the fans in mind. Conference realignment has ruined regional rivalries. Colorado versus Nebraska was a huge deal when I grew up, and they don't even play anymore. Cal and Stanford are in the ACC, for God's sakes. The fact that in the middle of the season, LSU can openly talk with Lane Kiffin is insane. Can you imagine if in Week 13 the Giants just started trying to interview Sean McVay? You can't because the NFL has contracts. The most insane thing is Lane Kiffin thought he was going to coach the playoffs after accepting a job with a rival school. We talked about this.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Donnie. I didn't read.
I think I also basically said some of the same things. It's like, why are we letting people? Yeah. Why are we doing this?
My apologies to Donnie. I didn't read this email. If I had read this earlier, I could have. But Donnie concludes, I guess I'm just complaining for no reason because nobody is going to do anything. Which, yeah, he's probably right there. Really quick, the games we did not touch on. Well, we kind of touched on, but just to I just want to mention. So the Broncos, that win in overtime, brought to you by Tito Paul, 27-26 Broncos. On Mix brought you Chargers 31, Raiders 14. Fred McAfee.
Yeah, I don't think we need to cover. We don't need to cover anything to do with the Raiders for a while.
No. Fred McAfee brought you Bucks 20, Cardinals 17. That was actually a pretty decent game. By the way, very quietly, Jacoby Brissett is having like a resurgence with the Cardinals, and like it's really something to see.
What does this say about how Kyler Murray was? The fact that they're actually kind of a decent team with Jacoby Brissett at the helm.
That's the other thing. Ed Sharkey brought you 49ers 26, Browns 8. 49ers are just rolling along. They're just kind of flying under the radar.
Did you see the Shadur Sanders clip of I almost made just this play my sweet fancy Moses, but 4th and 26, Shadur Sanders
yeah.
scrambles for 5 yards and then slides. It's like, buddy, you're gonna have to do a little better than that.
Yeah, I did see that. That was a shame, for sure. But by the way, Myles Garrett, another sack for him.
Yep, up to 19 right now.
And then I know the game that broke your heart, Dick Smith present Bears 24, Eagles 15. I'm just going to say it. I think Ben Johnson is coach of the year. I think the way they ran the ball against the Eagles, this Eagles team was impressive.
That's another thing I think you could have put into the really, really great. It's just like their run game. And they talked about it on the Athletic Football Show. Is like they basically knew exactly how to manipulate the safeties with motions and like pullers and everything to get the safety wherever they wanted them on a run play. And like they just basically just like were able to get whatever look they wanted. I will say there was a tweet about this. It was basically because the passing game in this game was really uneven. I thought some of the screen plays, like I think they ran too many of them, and I don't think they were working really at much of like a lot of points in the game. It just felt like this kept going wrong. But there was Ted Wynn said, when Caleb throws accurate timing passes, receivers drop the ball or slip. When receivers get wide open, Caleb misses them. It's like it seems like the Bears passing game is so close to a breakthrough or just cursed. And that's what it felt like. It's like it seemed like there were everything just sort of was discombobulated, and it was like either the receiver is off on the wrong page, or he falls down or drops it, or Caleb, like there was a Rome Odunze just like cut up like into the end zone and turned around for like sort of a hook, and like Caleb just like threw it into the ground at his feet, so like he had no chance at it, and it's just like that was a miss. But then there were other plays where he was like making plays and just the receivers. But the running game in this was just like awesome.
Yeah.
And then the other play that got picked apart was that the missed throw that Jalen had on the. I think most people were kind of pointing out that Dallas Goedert is like running straight up the seam, like wide open. But I think the real thing, like there was a blitz there, and so Jalen is hot, and so he has to like you're not probably not going to get off your first read on that. You're just trying to like make sure the first read is open and throw it. And I think really the issue there was that like he just made a really bad pass to Devontae Smith on the crosser. So
yeah, what with the Bears with their offense, I'll just mention Kyle Monangai, who he might. I mean, I think he's having a better season than Genty at this point, or he's having a season comparable to Genty.
Yeah, Big Chungus is killing it.
And the Bears' offensive line obviously deserves a ton of credit.
They did a really good job in the offseason of adding people to fit what they wanted to do.
Absolutely. And that defense is playing well for Dennis Allen. They're leading the league in takeaways. Basically what they're doing, the formula is running the ball, you don't give the ball away, and you take the ball away.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty simple formula. Big game for them this week against the Packers. Packers obviously with a big win on Thanksgiving against the Lions. Brought to you by Jug Gerard. Packers 31, Lions 24. I'm really interested to see this game this week. Packers Bears.
That'll be a good one.
I think it's if you're a fan of the, I think for the, I was thinking this, or I was trying to think, like, I think if you're the Cowboys, you probably want the Bears to win.
Yeah, I think so, just because of the tiebreaker situation.
Well, the Packers, because you're closer to the Packers. If you're trying to, the Bears beat you.
Exactly. So with the Packers, you've got the tie. So like, there's no head-to-head loss there.
Right. So, I think we're going to take a quick break. I'll mention real quick the Monday night game. Honor Jackson present Patriots 33, Giants 15. Shout out to the Drake. Helped me win my fantasy league this week. So shout out to him.
There you go.
But if I think you're going to take a quick break, and while you do that, I'll just go through the playoff as it stands right now. So right now, while Brandon takes a quick break there, I'll just go through the playoff picture as we sit here. In the AFC, the number 1 seed at 11-2 are the Patriots. They are off this upcoming week. The seventh seed at 2 seed right now would be the Bills at Broncos. 6 versus 3 would be the Colts at Jaguars. 5 versus 4 right now would be the Har Bowl, the Chargers at Baltimore. So that'd be fun. I do think, like Brandon and I talked about a minute ago, I do think we're going to get some team in here that we're not considering right now. So, even whether it's the Chiefs go on a run, or maybe the Bengals, maybe it's the Texans. Who knows? I do think the Steelers, their ship has kind of sailed. So I'm not going to put my hopes on seeing the Steelers in this picture as we get towards the end of the season. In the NFC, number 1 seed, the Bears, 9-3. We've got 7 versus 2 right now is 49ers at Rams. 6 versus 3 is Packers at Eagles. 5 versus 4, as it's been for a couple weeks now, Seahawks at Tampa. I feel like the NFC picture is pretty clear. I do think, not to jinx my good friend there, Brandon, I do think the Cowboys can make some noise here if they keep. I will say this, and Brandon's back joining us. I think the Cowboys offense would scare some people in the playoffs. If they.
Oh, sorry. Wrong button.
If the Cowboys do sneak in the playoffs, your offense is going to scare some people.
If we get to the point where we run the table and we like win out and like get into the playoffs, like it's going to be the nobody wants to play this team situation.
Especially if you guys can win the division, you get a home game. If you get a home game,
exactly.
That wild card round, that's going to be. Also, not outside the realm of possibility that the AFC and NFC South both get 2 teams. That's in play. I think the AFC South's more likely to get 2 teams than the NFC South.
Yes, I would agree with that.
So, for the draft, real quick, I'll just point this out. The Saints, with the Giants' loss on Monday night, the Saints fall with the 3rd pick right now. Still in good striking distance for some teams, maybe trading up for a quarterback, because the Raiders would be 4 right now. Raiders are probably going to draft a quarterback, so if you're a team like the Jets, let's say, who are at 7, they might want to trade up using some of that draft capital they got from the Cowboys in the Quinnen Williams trade, potentially, to maybe get their guy, their quarterback of the future. Cowboys right now are picking 16th. Right ahead of the Lions at 17 and the Texans at 18. The Chiefs are all the way up at 13 right now. That's crazy to think about. I do think so. The Cowboys would have obviously 2 first-round picks because they still have the Packers pick for next year. The Rams are picking at 9, so they are the 2 seed in the NFC and the 9th pick in the draft because of the Falcons. So.
We're going to need the Falcons to start winning some games here.
I mean, don't hold your breath, but yeah, I agree with you. And we will talk about, there are some playoff elimination scenarios, but we'll go through that as we preview Week 14 here. Which I guess let's get to the preview for Week 14. Last week, this is the final week of byes. So the final 4 teams to have their bye are the Panthers. Their bye week brought to you by Kemp Rasmussen. That's the name, folks. I'll only report the news. The Patriots bye week brought to you.
Is he related to Rasputin?
He might be. Who knows? The Patriots bye week is brought to you by LSU legend and went to the same high school as myself, Kevin Falk. He is the cousin of Marshall Faulk. Actually, shout out to Marshall Faulk, the new head coach of the Southern University Jaguars football team.
Nice.
And the Giants, they need a bye after their last couple of weeks. Their bye week brought to you by Rodney Hampton. And finally, the 49ers, whose bye week is brought to you by Dick Witcher. So shout out to the teams on a bye this week.
It's a real snake charmer.
Moving on. Let's move on to Thursday night here, buddy. You got your boys going to Detroit. Brought to you by, who's this? Avion Kaysen?
Yeah, former running back here.
Give me a second. Let me pull up my my spreadsheet here so I can make sure we got everything, all our ducks in a row here. I will point out, I'm just pointing this out just to be fair, because I will point this out for other teams. If the Cowboys do lose, and that is in combination with a Rams win and either a Bears win or a Seahawks win, that would eliminate the Cowboys from contention for the 1 seed in the NFC.
Okay. I was like, can we already be eliminated from the playoffs here?
No. Just from the 1 seed. Just from the 1 seed. So just to be fair here. The Lions are laying 2.5 points in this game. I will lay the 2.5 with the Lions, and I'm picking the Lions at a 4 confidence.
I'm going to take the Lions minus the points, and I'm going to take the Lions at I think I'm going to go the same as you. I'm going to be Lions 4.
Okay. All right, moving on to Sunday. Dirk Johnson presents Saints at Bucks. Bucks are laying 8.5. I am laying the points with the Bucks, and I am taking the Bucks at a 14, which is the maximum for this one.
I am taking the Bucks minus 8.5, and I have Bucks 11.
Ready? Give me a second here. All right, Bucks at 11. On to the next game here. We have Carnell Lake presenting Steelers at Ravens. Obviously, this is one of the big matchups of the week. Ravens are laying 5.5. The loser of this game, assuming there is no tie, is eliminated from contention for the 1 seed in the AFC. I don't think either of these teams is going to be the 1 seed in the AFC, but just to be fair here. Ravens minus 5.5. I am taking the points with the Steelers, but I'm taking the Ravens to win at a 2. I don't trust either of these teams.
I will lay the points with
Baltimore.
And I will take the Ravens at a 6.
All righty. Up next, we've got Drake Nevis presents another big divisional matchup here. Colts at Jaguars, the first of 2 meetings in the next 3 weeks. Jaguars are the home underdogs. They are getting a 1.5. I am taking the 1.5 with the Jaguars, and I'm taking the Jaguars at an 8, buddy.
I am going to also take the Jaguars plus 1.5. What is going on here? I don't want to be suggesting. I want to be editing. Stop suggesting. So I'm going to take the Jags plus 1.5. Google Docs has turned on me, Paul. And I have, what did you have it as?
I had an 8. I had Jags at an 8.
Jags 9.
There you go. I mean, you got to be on their bandwagon. You picked them to win the AFC South. The cynical amongst us might say I'm taking them to jinx them, but
I was going to say, like, the fact that we picked so poorly this year does not bode well for the fact that we both took them.
Maybe this is Danny Dimes' comeback game here. We'll see. All right, Takeo Spikes presents another big AFC match. This is a non-divisional game, but it's still a big one. Bengals at Buffalo. Bills are laying 5.5. I am taking the points with the Bengals, but I'll take the Bills to win at a 9.
Okay, so I have Bengals plus 5.5. Bills to win, but Bills at a 2.
2. Yeah, I don't know why I went so high on the Bills to win, but I just feel like this is going to be one of those where Burrow keeps them in it, but he just can't quite get them
The
there.
defense is too bad.
Yeah. All right. Up next, Lawyer Malloy, the former Patriot, actually presents Seahawks at Falcons. Falcons are getting 7.5. A loss for the Falcons eliminates them from the playoffs. So following my protocol on Seahawks games, I am taking the points with the Falcons, but I'm taking the Seahawks out of 1.
Okay.
Shout out to Trang.
Seahawks minus 7.5. Seahawks 14.
There you go. Shout out to our good friend Trang. All right, up next, Browns hosting the Titans. This one brought to you by Webster Slaughter. Titans are already eliminated from the playoffs. If the Browns lose this game, they will also be eliminated from the playoffs. The Browns are still in it, folks. Believe it or not. Technically, if the Browns win this game and the Bengals lose, Browns and Bengals are tied with the same record.
Yeesh.
So, Browns laying 4.5. I'm laying the points with the Browns. I'm taking the Browns at an 8. Oh, wait. I can't take a 8. Hold on. What did I do here? Oh, I screwed this up.
Wait, yeah, your rods and cones are all mixed up.
My rods and cones are all screwed up. Let me see what I did here. Where's my fantasy app here? We need some I need some hold music for a second. Here we go. Fantasy. All right, that's my college picks. Let me go back to this is great podcasting here, boys and girls.
That's what we do.
Okay, I have Browns at a 6.
Okay, there you go.
I got Browns at a 6.
Ooh.
All right. What do you? Yeah, your turn.
I'm going to take the Browns minus the points, and then I'm going to take the Browns at a 5.
Browns at a 5. All right. Whew, that was a dangerous one there. That was some risky business there. All right, up next, Dick James presents Commanders at Vikings. Vikings are getting 1.5. Whoever loses this game is eliminated from playoff contention. So this is literally a loser leaves town.
Loser leaves town.
I'm going Commanders minus 1.5. I'm taking Commanders at a 5.
I have Commanders minus 1.5. I have Commanders at a 7.
Should point out, I think Daniels is back for this game. I think that's what I've heard.
Is that the rumor?
That's the rumor. They considered playing him against the Broncos, but they probably saved him because of that defense.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, I mean, the Vikings defense isn't much better.
I was going to say, yeah.
Considering how Mr. Flores likes to handle things. All right, up next, last game in the early slate here. Former professional wrestler Wahoo McDaniel presents Dolphins at Jets. Jets are getting 2.5. A Jets loss will eliminate them from the playoffs. I am going to lay the 2.5 with the Dolphins, taking the Dolphins at a 7.
I'm going to zag here. I'm going to take the Jets plus the points.
All righty.
But
taking the Jets to I would say you taking the Jets to win?
No, I'm going to take the Dolphins at an 8.
So wait, you took Jets plus 2.5, but you got the Dolphins to win at an 8?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, man. All right, well, I'll tell you what's going on here on the Sunday late afternoon, the game of the week here, most likely, presented by Leroy Caffey. Bears at Packers. Packers laying 6.5.
Leroy Caffey.
Okay, Bears fans, don't get mad at me. I'm taking the points with the Bears, but I'm taking the Packers to win at a 10.
Wow. I'm taking the Packers minus the 6.5.
Okay.
And Packers at a 10.
Packers at a 10. Yeah, I do think this game will be close. Well, also, we did mention this when we talked about the Packers a minute ago. Your guy, Micah, he's heating up a little bit. I don't know if you've noticed. I think, here's my hot take. That trade was a win-win for both teams.
It ended up, because you ended up getting Quinnen Williams and another first-round pick, basically.
Exactly.
And a little bit of cap space. So, like, it's kind of worked out.
I think it's a win-win for both teams.
Yeah.
All right. Then up next, Dick Tyson presents Broncos at Raiders. Raiders are getting 7.5. I am laying the points for the Broncos, and I'm taking the Broncos out of 13.
Broncos minus 7.5. Broncos 13. No, Broncos 12. Sorry.
12. Okay. Real quick, before we get to the next game, I do want to let me circle back to the Bengals-Bills game for a second, just to point this out. I just want to point this out. So the Patriots are off this week. Patriots are currently have a 4-game lead over the Bills. Hang on. I had this earlier. I wanted to.
So
give me a second. Give me a second.
Are they
Patriots are 11 the Patriots are 11-2. The Bills are 8-4. So the Patriots have a 3-game lead. If, and this is a big if, but if the Bengals beat the Bills, then week 15, Bills at Patriots, that game becomes if the Patriots win, they clinch the division.
Gotcha.
So just something to keep in mind. By the way, did you see what the Patriots score differential is this season?
Is it like insane?
Plus 110.
That'll happen when you play bad teams.
The Colts score differential is plus 108.
Really? Even after all the...
Yeah.
Well, I guess they haven't been getting blown out, even with, like they've lost now, but they're like all their losses are like pretty close.
So the Colts beat the Dolphins by 25. They beat the Titans by 21. They beat the Raiders by 34. Beat the Chargers by 14. Beat the Titans again by 24. So yeah, they've got some. Yeah, and all their losses have been like 3 points.
3 points.
One score games basically. So. All right, sorry, sidetrack there. What are we at here? We're up to Charlie Too Good. Yeah, Charlie Too, as opposed to Too Bad. Rams at Cardinals. Cardinals are getting 8.5. I think I'm zagging here. I'm going to go Cardinals plus 8.5. I'm still going to pick the Rams to win at an 11.
I'm going to say the Rams get back on track after last week, and so they cover the 8.5, and I have Rams 13.
Yeah. We'll see if that last week was just a bump in the road for the Rams. All right. The 2 primetime games here. First up, Not That Steve Martin presents Texans at Chiefs. Chiefs laying 3.5. All right, here's what's at stake for the Chiefs. If the Chiefs lose and the Broncos beat the Raiders, which is very possible, that would eliminate the Chiefs from the AFC West contention and from the 1 seed contention. So something to keep an eye on there for the Chiefs. I am laying the points with the Chiefs, and I'm taking the Chiefs at a 3.
Texans plus 3.5. Texans.
You gonna do it?
I'm gonna do it.
There
Texans 3.
There you go.
You taking the Chiefs minus the points?
I'm taking the Chiefs minus the points and the Chiefs at a 3. So we are literally head to head on both of these. So for the Texans, again, this is I don't want to say it's a must win, but it's pretty damn close to a must win.
They need to keep pace with Jacksonville right now.
And the Colts. Or whoever wins that game, basically.
Right.
All right, last but not least, Monday night, BJ Bello presents Eagles at Chargers. Chargers plus 2.5. I am laying the 2.5 with the Eagles, and I'm taking Eagles at a 12. I'm really trying to. Well, I mean, that's the only number left. So it's,
Chargers plus 2.5. Chargers 1.
Cool. All right. So, quick mini recap here before we get to our upsets and locks. We are going to be head-to-head on 7 games. We were head-to-head on 7 games last week. You won 4-3. For the season, you are up 44-36.
Wow. Not too bad.
So you are 8 games up. So even if I sweep you this week, you're still going to be ahead.
Still got some cushion there.
You still got some cushion. Yeah, we talked about the other stuff earlier. All right. Let's move on to Our George is getting upset. All right, last week I had Browns over 49ers. That was no good. You had Texans over Colts, so you hit that one. For the season, I am 5-8. You are 6-7. So
I think I'm on a little bit of a streak, aren't I? Like, haven't I?
Yeah, you've got what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row. So you were 2-7 at one point. Now you've run off 4 in a row here. I have, on the other hand, lost 3 in a row. So I will give you the floor here to go first.
Okay, I took the Texans last week, so I'm not gonna take them again. But I am going to. I'm going to say Joe Burrow and the Bengals go into Buffalo and pull off the upset. I'll take Bengals over Bills.
Okay, so you have not, to this point, picked the Bengals for an upset. And you also have not picked against the Bills for an upset this season. So this is new territory for you, my friend. As far as I am concerned, let me take a look here. I did take the points with the Bengals. I'm not going to do that. Oh, no, this is easy. I'm going to take Jaguars over Colts.
There you go.
Yeah, I think that's
I thought about doing that. I thought about doing that too, but I was like, I'll go differently this week.
Colts, since that's technically an upset based on the point spread. My other consideration was, what's my other consideration here? I guess I could do
as an update, that line has not moved. It is still Colts -1.5 on the market.
Yeah, I mean the only other options I would have considered was the Bears, but I'm not going to do that to Bears fans. So. I did take the points with the Bears, but I picked the Packers to win outright. All right, let's move on to the lock of the week. All right, now in the locks of the week, last week I had Chargers over Raiders, got that one. You had Rams over Panthers. Sad for you.
So do you remember? But do you remember, because we went over this during the segment? That was the second time I picked the Rams. Do you remember what happened the first time I picked the Rams?
No, you won.
I picked them Rams over Niners.
You picked Rams over Ravens. I don't see you having Rams over Niners.
I thought I took them over the Niners in that one Thursday game for some reason.
Nah, you picked Rams over Titans week 2, which is obviously a win. And then you picked Rams over Ravens week, week 6? Let's see, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, week 6. Yeah, you did pick. Maybe you did Rams over Niners as an upset. No?
Maybe so. No, that would make sense.
No, I didn't. I don't see you picking Rams. No, I don't see that.
Oh, okay. Maybe I just made that up in my head.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, buddy.
You wanna lead off this week, since I got mine a pick wrong last week?
I am on a 4-game win streak on my locks, for what it's worth. I am 11 and we're both 11-2 for the season on our locks. All right,
it's heating up.
My lock, we're heating up here. I am gonna go. Not gonna make the mistake you made last week. Let's have some fun, buddy.
Okay.
Your upset pick was Bengals over Bills. How about my lock be Bills over Bengals?
There we go. Let's make it feisty.
Let's live a little here.
Okay, if that's the case, then I will take the Broncos over the Raiders.
Okay. I did consider that one, but I just picked Broncos. Or actually, no, did I not?
I also consider you just picked against the Raiders. That's what you did.
That's what it was.
You had Chargers over Raiders. I thought about taking the Bucks over the Saints too.
So I will say, I have picked the Bills as my lock one time this year, and that was against the Saints week 4. You picked Broncos over Titans week 1, and that's it. You have not picked against the Raiders yet.
Ooh,
for your lock.
Intriguing.
You picked the Titans back-to-back weeks.
I do remember that.
And then,
I'm just going to keep picking against the Titans every week.
And I think I said, no more. We got to stop this. We're going to put an end to this.
I got to come up with a new bit.
I did pick Packers over Bengals way back when. That did hit. So this is my second time picking against the Bengals in my lock. I just thought, you know what? Let's have some fun, buddy. Let's
This is all fun and games anyway.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay. So for our upset, I've got Jags over Colts. You have Bengals over Bills. For my lock, I have Bills over Bengals. You got Broncos over Raiders. I thought you were going to do Colts over Jags for your lock. It's like
jinx, reverse jinx.
Yeah. Okay. So I just want to let everybody know next week when we we'll be previewing week 15. For that show, instead of doing player grid matches, we're going to do coaches grid matches. So with that in mind, our patron Saint Cowboy next week will be a coach, not a player, which I've got.
You got
one in mind.
Tease. That's a tease.
Okay.
Come back next week to find out who it is.
Come back next week. Yeah, we do have it. We do have it picked out here. And then also for week 17. Yeah, week 17. When we preview week 17, so in a couple weeks here. So basically the Christmas week. For that week, we're going to be we're going to go back to players, but we're going to be using players that played specifically for the two teams involved. So, for example, that week, I'll use the Saints as the example here. The Saints are playing the Titans. That should be a barn burner.
I will burn. That's a don't race the blinds game.
So the player that will present that game will be someone who played for only the Saints and the Titans in their career. Or I guess Saints Oilers, if you go back through which I had already gone through and done that week, and I was going to use Archie Manning because, he didn't. He also played for the Vikings, so I can't use him now.
I will say I also forgot to mention this, but they talked about DeMarion Overshown and Patrick Mahomes facing off against each other because they're both from Tyler, Texas. They're both Tyler, Texas area.
Yeah.
And so they ended up calling this the Battle of the 903, which was my area code.
There you go.
So shout out to the 903 area code.
Shout out to the 903. When I was living in Nacogdoches, mine was 936.
Yeah, that one's like, I think that's like just like, that's like the border for like, it goes 903 and then 936 is like that area in Lufkin and the spot below.
Yeah, I've been to Tyler a few times. Nice place. Been to, I want to say, yeah, because I rented my tuxedos for my wedding. I rented from Tyler. I rented from the Men's Warehouse in Tyler, I want to say.
So I have a story about that because one of my college roommate was getting married, and so we had to go pick up our tuxes at the Men's Warehouse at the Tyler Mall.
Okay.
And so we drove from Houston to the Tyler Mall, and we get there and we're like walking around, and my wife was like, "Oh, let's go into this store. I want to see what they've got." And so the store is Lane Bryant. Do you know what Lane Bryant is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my wife is not like, so for those who don't know, Lane Bryant makes, plus size clothing. My wife is not plus size, but she is not aware that is what this store is. And so she's looking at the outfits and she sees this outfit and she's like, she asked the lady, she's like, "Do you have this in a smaller size?" And the lady was like, "I'm sorry." She had to explain to her what the store was. And I kind of knew, and so I was like, but I was not going to get involved.
I thought that was going to go a different way. I thought the lady was going to be like, "No, I do not have it in a smaller size."
No, but my wife felt really bad, and I was just laughing because I was like, "It's an innocent mistake," but it's like I think she felt bad about it, and she was like, "Well, why didn't you tell me?" And I was like, "Well, I thought I was like, well, I wasn't going to get involved in this whole situation. I didn't know." But so that's my story about going to the Tyler Mall. My wife hates that story.
I will say we talked about the coaching carousel in college football. One name I have heard that might get a job is John Gruden. So,
ooh, there we go.
Apparently, Arkansas, there was interest in the Arkansas job for him, but I guess they couldn't. I mean, I do know he does strike me as the kind of guy who's kind of desperate to get back into coaching.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that like does not want to be away from it. I will say, so now the Arkansas football team just hired
the Memphis
Ryan Silverfield, the Memphis head coach. But do you know who their basketball coach is right now?
Calipari, right?
Yeah. Do you know where did Calipari go before? Where was he before he went to Kentucky?
UMass, wasn't it?
Yeah, but where was he after UMass before Kentucky?
The NBA was the NBA, right? He was
the University of Memphis. He was the one that had Derrick Rose. They got the team to the championship game against Kansas. So that
and then had to like null and void it because of scandal, right?
Yeah, but that team was awesome. I like that 2008 Memphis.
No, that was a good team.
They were awesome.
That was a good team.
Yeah, and so now Arkansas has their former basketball head coach, but also the former football head coach now. So it's just kind of funny. So, speaking of college basketball, I have one. So I'm currently 10-5 for the day right now.
Okay,
I have Loyola Marymount plus 6.5 against St. Louis, the St. Louis Billikens. They're currently down 14, so they're going to need to do some work. They're going to need to do some work if they want to cover this one.
For those that tuned in last week, Utah Tech didn't come through for Brandon.
They did not come through for me.
Man, listen, when you pulled out Utah Tech last week, I was like, oh my god, this is serious. Like we might need
I will say South Alabama did win their my money line bet today on them. So shout out South Alabama
to the Jaguars, right?
That's right, the Jaguars. Yeah. That is the Jaguars. I think I've had like a couple of. I've had a couple of I've been pretty high on South Alabama this year, so they've come through for me quite a few times. So
good on you, buddy. Yeah, I remember when I was in college, I bought a sports almanac, but it had it had a section that had all the mascots for the college teams. And I remember we're sitting around with a buddy of mine, and my buddy's like how well do you know this? So he would just start all right, what about University of California, Irvine. It's like, the Anteaters, or the whatever the
UC Irvine mascot is.
I think it was the Anteaters. I know there's a University of California that is the Anteaters. I can't remember if it's
one
Irvine
or. There's so many University of California. There's like 20 of them. Bakersfield, Irvine, Northridge.
One of my favorites was it? It's an
Irvine is
Arkansas.
They are the Anteaters. You are correct, Paul.
Arkansas Monticello was like the Boll Weevils, I think. Yeah,
I like
that's another good one.
I like the Arkansas State Red Wolves. They have I like their logo.
Shout out to that's the alma mater for DeMario Davis.
There we go.
Saints legend DeMario Davis. Yeah. Arkansas State, because they were I think they're still in the Sun Belt. But
I think so. That sounds right.
Because they played Louisiana Lafayette a bunch when I was in college. I didn't go to college in Louisiana Lafayette, but obviously I grew up in Lafayette, so I knew. Excuse me, I knew of Arkansas State for sure. What was another? There was I remember it's just like we would just sit there for like hours and they would just ramble them off, because also you have some schools where their football team and their basketball teams have different mascots. Like they have, like it's rare. It doesn't happen very often, but you'll have like I mentioned Arkansas Pine Bluff. Like I think the men's teams were the Boll Weevils, but the women's teams were like the Cotton Blossoms or something like that. Like it was.
And then you always get you always have like the separate, like the, what is it, like the Lady Volunteers versus the Volunteers,
right? Yeah.
Whatever.
Louisiana Tech. I remember they had the Bulldogs is their main mascot, but the women's basketball team, which was good for years, were the Lady Texters. I want to say there was their.
What are they, like sending messages?
Yeah,
Lady
no, this is not that kind of text.
Lady Texter. They had their phones up. Was that the mascot's a giant cell phone running around?
That's good.
There we go.
That's good.
The Lady Texters.
That's good. Well, I don't think we can end on any better note than that.
No, that's I'm out.
I'm out. Yeah. So hope everybody's having had a good Thanksgiving. We'll see everybody next week. We had a cold snap come through Houston. It's like 30
I like it
in Houston.
Yeah, I like it.
So hopefully everybody's staying safe out there.
Staying warm.
We'll be back next week. Again, this is the last week with buys. So when we preview week 15, the last 4 weeks of the season, everybody's in play. Playoffs are coming. Not for my team, but hopefully maybe for Brandon's team.
Maybe for me. We got a shot at going 1 for 2.
There, yeah. We'll see, buddy. We'll see. I do want to say, if somehow the Super Bowl ends up being Bears Broncos, we have to get Andy and Donnie on the show. Like that has to happen.
Yes, absolutely.
So the call has gone out to Andy and Donnie. If we do get Bears Broncos, or even if we get one of them,
even if we get one of them there, there we go.
We got to get them on the show to talk about. We got to live vicariously through them, because my team, it ain't gonna happen for a while.
You're still in rebuilding mode.
Well, no. That's the thing. That my team doesn't think they're in rebuilding mode, but
it's a soft reset. That's what it is.
No, they need to control alt delete that stuff, man. They need to reboot. But anyway, we'll see everybody next week. Hope everybody has a good week. Until then, happy football.
Happy football.